After reading the Amazon shareholder letter, something became very, very clear to me. And although a lot of people are excited and worried about AI, Amazon is thinking beyond AI. Amazon is quietly laying out plans on how they're going to dominate the next 10 years across AI, chips, logistics, and even robotics. And a lot of people and a lot of companies are missing that it's all about domination over the next decade. In this video, I'm going to break down 5 of the biggest signals that I took from that letter on what Amazon intends to do to dominate the next 10 years. So if you're an investor, if you're an operator, or someone who's just curious about these things, I think you really need to watch this video. Now, I didn't just skim through the letter. I actually went through it line by line, word by word, over a couple of days. And what stood out to me wasn't just the numbers. The numbers looked really good. But what stood out to me was the strategy. Because what Amazon is doing right now is exactly what a lot of companies do not have the courage to do. So I'm going to break down the 5 things that stood out to me. So let's start off with point number 1. It's all about AI infrastructure. So Amazon expects to spend roughly $200 billion in 2026 in capital expenditure. I want you to think about this for a minute. $200 billion. This is more than the GDP of a lot of countries. This is full-scale commitment. When a company decides to spend $200 billion in a single year, that's something that should be taken a look at very, very seriously, because they're not just speculating about the way forward. They're committing, they're putting skin in the game. And their AI business is already running at over $15 billion in revenue annually, and it's growing significantly fast. Point number 2, Amazon wants to own the entire AI stack. You see, most people think of AWS being the cloud. I think that's outdated thinking. Amazon is building end-to-end AI infrastructure with their chips, with their models, via Bedrock, with their tools like SageMaker, and now even agents. This is vertical integration at scale. And here's the key insight, in my opinion. Amazon doesn't just want to host AI. It wants to control the economics of AI. And that's a completely different game. And not a lot of companies are bold enough to think of that vision and, more importantly, chase it. Because if you control the chips and if you control the infrastructure and the tooling, you're not just participating in the market. You have the potential to actually set the rules. And from an outsider looking in and reading that shareholder letter, I think that's what Amazon is trying to do. Now, point number 3 is custom chips. Now, I feel that this is their hidden mode. This probably could also be the most underrated part of the entire letter. Because Amazon custom chips, especially their Trainium, they're exploding in demand. Their Trainium 2 is largely sold out. Trainium 3 is already nearly fully subscribed. And internally, Amazon is treating this as a $20 billion plus revenue engine. But here's the bigger story. Amazon believes its chip could save tens of billions in capital expenditure annually. Let that sink in. If Amazon can save tens of billions of dollars every single year because of their chips, guess what? They're able to deploy that cash in other areas. So while everybody is focused on NVIDIA, Amazon is quietly building a system where it doesn't need NVIDIA as much. And that's not just a strategy, that is leverage. Point number 4. Amazon is still very much obsessed with speed. Now, here's where most people get it wrong. They think Amazon is becoming an AI company. No. As I read through the shareholder letter, Amazon is becoming an AI company, but it's also becoming a speed company. Look at what they're doing. They've started deploying same-day fulfillment centers, Prime Air drones. Amazon Now, ultra-fast delivery, where you can get a delivery within an hour to 3 hours. They are expanding massively within the rural areas, and they have over 1 million robots in their warehouses. And I've visited these warehouses and I've seen these robots in action. And here's the key insight. Amazon is not just chasing one strategy. They're running multiple strategies in parallel, right? Where most companies are trying to find the right answer, what Amazon is doing is thinking and operating like this startup. While Amazon is running multiple experiments at scale and letting the data decide where they should put more focus and emphasis. And that's a different level of execution. And point number 5, rebuild before you have to. One of my favorite quotes is, you have to build a well before you're thirsty. And I think the most important part of the entire letter has nothing to do with AI, but it has all to do with how Amazon thinks. The CEO, Andy Jassy, talks about being willing to go back to the starting line. Now think about it. Amazon rebuilt parts of Bedrock in 76 days. Amazon redesigned Alexa for generative AI. Now, most companies don't do that. They try to bolt on AI on top of existing systems. They try to fix things in their existing state. But Amazon, they tear things down and rebuild. And this is where most companies lose. Because rebuilding, let's be honest, is uncomfortable. It's expensive. It forces you to admit your current system isn't good enough. But that's exactly why it works. Because if something is not good enough for you to dominate, you need to go back to the starting line and rebuild from ground zero. So if you zoom out, here's what Amazon is really doing. Number 1, they're investing aggressively in AI structure. Number 2, they've started building their own chips so that that doesn't become a bottleneck or leverage for other companies. Number 3, they're expanding in logistics and robotics. And number 4, they're rebuilding products from scratch that they feel aren't really optimized. So what Amazon is doing is a complete re-architecture at scale in order for them to dominate the next 10 years. So here's what I'm curious about. Out of these 5 signals, AI infrastructure, chips, logistics, robotics, and rebuilding products, which one do you think is going to be the most important over the next 5 years? Let me know in the comments. And if you like more breakdowns like this, where we really dive into a company and dissect the strategy, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll be sure to drop more of these videos going forward. Take care. I'll see you guys at the top.